Welcome back to the BritKare Lady Buff Classic. We get ready for match number 2 today on Saturday, as we will feature West Texas A&M and St. Mary's University. Lucas Kinsey with you, and my broadcast partner from football and all kinds of things, Bryce Sheets, stopping by to join me here for this broadcast. And so, Bryce, we're going to see the Lady Buffs after yesterday picking up 2 sweeps, 2 wins against Adams State and then UCCS. They'll take on a St. Mary's team that dropped both of their matches yesterday, 0-2. And for the Lady Buffs, you saw them last season, and you're looking out and seeing a lot of familiar faces. Right. They bring back a lot of returners. They added some new pieces. We saw some of those players yesterday, and so a lot of excitement around this program with Kendra Potts. They make it to the Elite Eight last year. This season, target on their back a little bit with the preseason Lone Star Conference ranking. Let's pause just a second. We'll have the national anthem and be back right after this.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences have served the Panhandle and beyond.
Today, WT is committed to continuing an ag heritage tradition while inspiring innovation and cutting-edge education. As a regional research university, through ag industry partnerships, WT is focused on solving real-world problems and developing future ag leaders. For more information about supporting WT Ag, go to wtamu.edu/agday.
Went for a onside kick, landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Always love to have the WT Pep Band with us, and they do an outstanding job. So as we were just saying, Bryce, the returners, the excitement around the program, and so you come into this season, everybody knows about the Lady Buffs, no surprise. They start the season, your thoughts on this team?
Well, you said, you had a good point from the fact that they had to add a few pieces. And so I think Kendra's at the point where she can be really selective on the pieces that she adds. And so, again, going out and getting, a couple of players like you do from Hereford, Tatum Stowe, who was really good all-district player, really had some state accolades as well, and you can add that size. I mean, really, and she loves volleyball so much, and so you get to get those kind of players, also good character players and everything else. And so I think that's the fun thing from Kendra's standpoint is
she's just adding more talent.
Just getting the right pieces to come in and join your club.
Yesterday, in the 2 wins, it was a lot of balance. In the first win against Adams State, Tori Miller led the way with 10 kills, but also Abby Nash had 9. Tatum Stowe, immediate impact, 4 blocks, 5 kills in the first match. New setter, they're going to run 2 setters this year. Blair Moreland, she's the preseason Lone Star Conference setter of the year after a great freshman season last year. But we saw really good things from Ainsley Malice. She's a transfer in this season, wears number 9, out of Tucson, Arizona, a transfer from Long Island University. But she comes over, she had 19 assists in the first one. And then another local product that was really good yesterday was also her birthday yesterday, Briley Contreras, out of Canyon High School. She went to Stephen F. Austin for a year and then has transferred over. She's a defensive player, 15 digs in the second match win over UCCS. Emma Patterson was good yesterday as well in the back row, and we talked about it in yesterday's broadcast. They're trying to replace Chandler Vogel, which will be very hard to do. 3-time All-American, great player, but you're seeing not just one player, but multiple players step in the back row.
Well, that's the nice thing about tournaments like this, too. You get a lot of players in. You get a chance in game situations to see what they can do. It might have been different than practice, and so that's the thing. In the game, you get to see how they handle themselves and how they're reading what the offenses are trying to do against the defense.
In terms of offense, mentioning the balance we saw yesterday in the second match, Kayla Elliott really get involved in the middle, 11 kills, 5 blocks for her. And they're going to have some other players as well. Ashlyn Vineyard, remember her from last year. She's just a sophomore. Good right side player. Cammie Jones as well, a 5'10 sophomore from Portland, Texas. So a lot of talent, a lot of balance. Now, that's WT. Let's talk about St. Mary's. Yesterday, they dropped both of their matches. First one was to Northwest Missouri State. They lost 3 straight there. The second one, they played very well, had a chance to move the match to 5 sets and lost in the 4th set. They were up 24-19, had a chance in the 4th set to go to 5. UCCS went on a run, 7 straight points, ball game. They win 26-24. But for St. Mary's, head coach Laura Ulrich is in her 2nd season, and she's really turned the program around very quickly. 2 years ago, before she's there, they only win 2 matches the entire season. Last year, they win 14 matches, and she's trying to build. She's got a younger team. You mentioned it, these early season pre-conference tournaments. You want to play great competition, they're getting it. Northwest Missouri, number 12 in the country. WT's number 14.
Well, and that's what I said. I was going to say Northwest Missouri, that's a tough one to start off with, obviously. But also, your players get a chance to see what kind of an elite program is like. And so you kind of get that idea, where do you do in practice to kind of build yourself to what those teams are doing. So, yeah, this is a good tournament for everybody involved, just to kind of see where they're at here early in the season.
One thing to watch as the match starts is attack errors. That's the 2 teams that played WT yesterday really struggled with WT's defensive block. That forced a lot of errors. You cannot commit those errors. You need a higher attack percentage, obviously. So yesterday, WT holds Adams State to just .180 attack percentage. The second one, where they defeated UCCS, the Mountain Lions, triple zeros. So they were almost in the negatives in terms of attack percentage. And those errors being forced starts to get into your head a little bit.
Yeah, they really do. And that's the thing. This time of the year, I would imagine, for the most part, offenses should be ahead of the defense. And where your defense is really playing at a high level, like WT was doing, that really does get in the psyche of the opposing team. And so now you're starting to second guess, where do you want to place it? Where do you want to hit it? And so that caused that second, just a pause. That allows the defense to step up even bigger.
So this venue, talked about it yesterday, and now St. Mary's is experiencing this on a Saturday.
Is there anybody better at Brad Start to get a crowd fired up? I mean, my land.
But you come in here, and it is going to be tough. Obviously, temperatures a little warmer than most teams are used to, but just this home court advantage that West Texas A&M has. And Kendra Potts, Casey Shingler, the staff, a tremendous job for Kendra. 60 wins, only 15 losses, already a trip to the Elite 8. And again, these expectations this season for this program is, see all those banners over there up on the wall? Let's keep adding those.
Yes, and that's the thing. And it's funny, you talked about, before I came here today, I went over to the WT football scrimmage. And when you walk down the tunnel, I don't think a lot of people know there's a lot of plaques of former coaches and former really good players at WT. And so that kind of gives you that momentum, just like all the banners here for volleyball, basketball, everything in general. That just, I mean, it's impressive. It's kind of intimidating when you look at all the volleyball banners on the wall. And so I guess you got to step your game up a little bit.
West Texas A&M will put out on the floor new lineup. They'll have number 3 Piper Warren, a sophomore, 5'6" defensive specialist. She's out of Amarillo, transfer from Tyler Junior College. Emma Patterson wearing the libero jersey today. Tori Miller, everybody knows the All-American, number 31, such a special player. Tatum Stowe on day 2 making a start. And
that's good.
Coach Potts really was high on her. Ashlyn Vineyard in there as well, along with Blair Moreland. On the other side for St. Mary's, we'll have Abby Stifler. Looks like she's set to serve first. Joining her, number 15, Lindsay Ogle. Number 13, Sadie Huff. Number 11, Laureen Robinson. And number 10, Landry Withers, freshman from Stephenville. This St. Mary's team, Bryce, welcome to the box. You got 8 freshmen and 4 sophomores on the roster.
Oh, wow.
But again, they played with a lot of poise yesterday. Stowe tries to put one in and does.
And that was just a beautiful spike on the angle. I mean, she was looking where a player was and was able to put that down.
Perfect set as well from Blair Moreland. So Stowe serves. Serve receive here for the Rattlers. Good pass from Stowe in the back row. Miller with a kill so far, executing just like they drew it up. 2-0 Lady Buffs lead. So if you're St. Mary's, you need to settle in, get a side out, and try to quiet this crowd. That's not going to help. Service ace.
You know, and for St. Mary's, you talked about the atmosphere here at the box, and so everybody's standing up. It's hot.
Feels like they're surrounding you, right?
Exactly.
At the Coliseum
Yes.
feel. They try a slide. Moreland off the chest, goes underneath the net. So a kill good there for St. Mary's. They get a much needed point. 1 serving 3.
Yeah, that's the fun thing is just, I mean, the atmosphere here is just so much fun for the fans to experience.
Sarah Ramey was with me yesterday, and she said one of the coaches for St. Mary's, assistant coaches, was new to the conference and came over, and she said, this gym is really nice. She said, y'all play basketball here, right? I said, no. Sarah said, no.
Just volleyball. That's it now.
They used to, Bryce.
Yes, they did. I remember calling a few games here at the box.
Point to St. Mary's, so it's just a 1-point lead now for WT. Set number 1. Katrina Johnson in at middle for WT. Transition game here for the Rattlers. Swing wide and out. Attack error by the Rattlers gives the Lady Buffs a point. And we'll see the rotation bringing in Ainsley Malice, the setter, along with Cammie Jones. Noticed this yesterday with Malice, got that towel hanging out like the old quarterbacks do.
Get their hands, dry them off.
That's right. They call the setters the quarterbacks of the team for volleyball, so it's fitting. Tooling the block on the outside, a kill good for St. Mary's. So after getting down a couple of points, they've come back. 3 serving 4. The kill good for Laureen Robinson. Malice pushes it to Johnson, tries to slam it straight down. Good block touch by the Rattlers. Nice pass from Malice. Patterson will set up Tori Miller. Wow, that's going to get St. Mary's fired up. Not too often does number 31 get blocked.
Right, and again, 19 comes up and really kind of got high in the air, was able to put that one back down for St. Mary's.
That was Dallas Starr Johnson. Love the name. And you know, yesterday she was making a lot of plays at the net for St. Mary's. Miller, block touch. She kind of turned and said, not that time, ladies. We love watching Tori. I don't know if there's a more fierce competitor on campus, Bryce.
Well, and the thing is, when you love a sport and you put so much time and effort into it, it shows when you play.
I mean, she gets that angry face, and you feel like just get her the ball. Good block touch by Cammie Jones and Johnson. They play on. Oh, just good placement, miscommunication on the back row. And St. Mary's with the kill.
That's, again, these early games, you're trying to work through. Communication, obviously, is key, and so they're trying to work through that right now just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Just so much going on in the game of volleyball. So you mentioned communication. Who's got to take which ball, who's going where. That's going to be a service ace. Just came off wrong there for Patterson. Probably should have taken it under instead of using the hands up high. So a service ace for St. Mary's. Good for number 5, Callie Nims. Follows it up with a service error wide. Tied 6-6 early on, though. Got to love the effort if you're Coach Ulrich with St. Mary's.
Yeah, this is exactly where they want to be. They were afraid to get in a hole early, so they're hanging in very well.
Dallas Starr Johnson into the tape. Good effort defensively by both Sam Jordan and Tatum Stowe, making it tough for the hitters. Point WT. Good passing by St. Mary's. Patterson pops that ball up, though, and they're going to call Cammie Jones with a double touch. And the other thing you see in the college game, Bryce, is the serving becomes so important. Even when you don't get a service ace, You serve in the right spots, you serve to the right person. Sometimes you get that offense out of system from the get-go.
Absolutely, and that goes back to the coaches that are telling you where they want it to go.
Sam Jordan with the touch shot.
You know, that's the one thing, especially with a home crowd like this, your St. Mary's, one thing you don't want to allow the Lady Buffs to do is get on a roll, because once that happens, then the crowd really gets into it.
8 serving 7, Blair Moreland back, the lefty. Out of Katy, Texas. Good adjustment by the Lady Buffs Vineyard to get it over. Transition game, Tori Miller doesn't set too often, but does that time, and it results in a kill. Drops down for Vineyard.
She may have asked for more opportunities.
You know, she does a lot of things. We know one of the things Tori does so well is her passing. She collects a lot of digs. And right there, give her the assist. Overpass, free ball here for WT. Stowe, watch out below. There's nothing you can do about this one.
No, absolutely.
In front of the 10-foot line.
Yeah, just skying high to put that one down.
3-point advantage for West Texas A&M. In the middle, okay. Coming back, Liz Ubaja, transfer from TWU. Each side using their middles.
That's where the defense is important because, again, like I said, you don't want to get on a roll. Kind of looked like WT started to, and then you shut that down quickly.
Back to serve. Dallas Star Johnson works that back edge with Miller. They're going to push outside to Sam Jordan. Good pass. The dig collected in the back. Jordan off the block. Got it down for the kill. Nice job by Sam Jordan. She comes in and collects a couple of kills. 2 for 2 for Sam. 11-8 lead West Texas A&M. Early in the match, 385 hit percentage for WT. 231 for St. Mary's, pretty good. In the middle, Stowe denies the kill. Beach dig from Piper Warren, and they play on. Crowd love that effort. Another touch, Patterson over. Long rally here. Stowe.
I think that's the thing, too, is the power she has. She can hit it back so deep, it's hard to kind of recover from that.
Right. Gaining a lot of confidence here in just the third match for the true freshman out of Hereford. Miller slams it, but give a lot of credit there to Alyssa Kale for somehow popping the ball up. They're not able to get it back over, so it's a kill for Miller. Those have got to sting, Bryce.
I think so.
You know, some of those players, you see some wristbands that they wear or some long sleeves. Warren to serve. Just missed. Service error gives the point back to St. Mary's.
Yeah, I think, you know, sometimes TV doesn't do the justice of how strong, how hard those balls are coming across the net. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of power.
You hear that slap from all the way up here. We can hear it. And sometimes you can even see the players grimace a little bit. Service error by St. Mary's.
Obviously, the band's into it today. They are really excited for helping every time St. Mary's serves.
They always do a great job.
Got their own cheer section.
Yep, whether it's volleyball or basketball or the FUB.
Yep.
Oh, there's a good kill on the outside. Give that one to Sadie Huff, 6-foot senior from Cleburne, Texas. She was injured last year. Coming back strong this season. Cutting into that lead, it's now 10 serving 14. WT now hitting .467 in this first set. Each team very clean, though. Only 2 attack errors, both sides. Moreland going to set it on the right side to Vineyard. Missed it. Vineyard thought it was touched. The official says, no, ma'am. But the line judge, this is interesting. The line judge is saying, I saw a touch. So they'll come together here and make a call. I still would love to have a mic down there, Bryce, and hear what is being said.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the head referee has the option to overrule on that, but said in this particular case, the line judge was convincing enough that there was a touch, and so she said, yeah.
If you're St. Mary's, you're saying, okay, but that line judge is standing right in front of the Lady Buff bench. Come on. But that's a good job by the officials of communicating, trusting each other.
Yes.
You see it in basketball. You and I had some football games last night at the high school level, and the best officials do. They have to trust each other and say, hey, you saw it? Okay, we're going with the call. 15 to serve 10. Ainsley Malice back there. One of 3 players, Bryce, from the state of Arizona. In fact, 3 players from Tucson, Arizona on this roster. I think you can thank Casey Shingler for that, from the state of Arizona himself, just assistant head coach.
Right. Nose of the backyard over there.
Good cover from Warren. Ainsley will go outside to Miller, and that ball missed. Out. Are we going to get another touch? It will be point West Texas A&M. Call that a micro touch. Malice serves. Block. Katrina Johnson in the middle. Just so cool to see her back out on the floor after suffering that injury last year.
Right.
7-point advantage for West Texas A&M. Good serve again out of system and into the tape and backwards. Serving making a big difference here in the first set.
And that's where, again, this is where you fear for St. Mary's, again, WT getting on a roll.
Quick timeout from Laura Ulrich to talk to the team. They trail by 8 points here in the first set. We're back with more volleyball action. You're watching the BritKare Lady Buff Classic on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
Welcome back to the box here on the home campus of West Texas A&M. Lady Buffs leading in set number 1, 18-10. Statistics showing really good defense. The Lady Buffs with a couple of blocks, 10 digs to just 4 for St. Mary's. And a huge advantage in the attack percentage, 529 to 091. Johnson tried to hammer down the free ball, or the overpass, excuse me. Point to West Texas A&M. And more so than maybe any sport, momentum, such a huge factor.
You're absolutely right. It's so big because once you get on that roll, it's hard to slow it down.
Another great serve from Malice. The touch, and that will be a kill for St. Mary's. They needed that one.
Again, you talked about the youth of St. Mary's too, and that's the thing. Such good game experience right now as they get ready for conference play.
Yeah, early in the season, already taking on 2 top 15 ranked teams. That serve is wide and out after the last kill. Good for Lindsay Ogle. They end up giving the Lady Buffs a point back. That's the third serving error committed by St. Mary's. There's Tori Miller to serve, floats it over. Block touch. And it will be a point for St. Mary's as somebody got in the net, either Katrina Johnson or Cammie Jones. So back to serve is Nims, the setter. Okay. Yeah, Cammie Jones with a perfect set from Malice. Just gliding, looking below. Where do I want to put this ball?
And that's a great description because it seemed like she hung in the air for such a long time.
Cammie slamming. So 21-12, Lady Buffs lead. We'll look at that last play again. Malice sets it up, and Jones lays it down. Let's keep it here, Bryce. While we got a little time, let's talk about WT football.
Yep.
You and I will be out at the home opener at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
That's right.
Okay.
That's I asked Kent how to say. Make sure he said that right.
That's right. Next Saturday night for Hunter Hughes and the Buffaloes. They finished last season really with some good wins, some very good wins against Midwestern State, Angelo State. The expectations for WT this year, they're going to start the season off with Western Colorado. Your thoughts on what you saw this morning at the scrimmage?
So it'll be interesting. I thought obviously when the first team unit was in there offensively, Nick Gerber looked really, really good.
Cale Steed has joked this is like the 10th year for Nick Gerber coming back. He said he's played in 2 decades.
Yes.
We love Nick. We're glad he's back.
Absolutely, because when he is out there, he kind of controls, there's no wasted motion. He takes care of setting the table, basically, making sure everybody's in the right position. And so Jared Compton looked good running the football today. Saw some wide, again, they don't have numbers. They're all different, so it's kind of hard to tell who's who sometimes, but receivers look good. The question is going to be offensive line because they're young, and so that's going to be a big question mark.
Okay. We'll talk more about WT football as the match goes on. 21 serving 12, Emma Patterson will put it over for the Lady Buffs. Nims moves over, good set to the outside, and putting that one down for the kill is Ubaja. And the towels all come out here. Didn't see this as much yesterday, but
that's the thing here. I mean, just the humidity,
we need some towels up here, right? You get a towel for my man Daniel.
You can feel it all over. So
calm, cool, and collected over here, Mr. Daniel Kalunga. 21-13. Miller missed on that pass a little bit, but they still pop it up, and Cammie Jones is able to get the kill.
It's just a veteran player.
Oh, man.
Keeping your cool, staying with the play.
It's like a make something out of nothing type of play there.
Absolutely.
Blair Moreland in to serve. Front row of Tatum Stowe, Ashlyn Vineyard, Sam Jordan. Good spot on that serve. Try the right side, denied by Stowe and Jordan. Another touch, but a kill will go down. Off the block. Give that one to Landry Withers.
Good effort, though, on the part of the WT defense trying to get to that loose ball, and everybody kind of shifted over to the near side and trying to slide over and make a defensive play.
What you see with this defense for WT, Bryce, is there are very few times where the offense gets a hit that is not touching hands. Oh, look at Torrey bounce that one backwards and save it. So they play on. A free ball here, chance for St. Mary's. And that one hit the antenna, so it will be a point for St. Mary's University. Good job on the outside that time for Ubaja. Band reminding St. Mary's that WT is still leading by 7. These guys and gals. Okay, a serving ace there.
Point back. And that's the fun thing of the college atmosphere, too. I mean, like you said, you got the band. They're just so engaged in what's going on here.
Were you one of those college hecklers back in your day, Bryce, back at Indiana, Ball State?
Ball State, unfortunately, I was, yes.
Here's Sam Jordan off the block and off of Ubaja's head. Good for a kill for Sam Jordan.
Of course, in Indiana, the thing's basketball, so you get 5,000 to 6,000 people in the gym. It's fun. College atmosphere is fun.
We're glad to be back here
Absolutely.
Getting the season started. Soccer all ready for WT, volleyball, and next week we'll add football to the mix. Here's a chance for the Lady Buffs. Stowe, I don't know how you defend that if you're able to get the ball right where number 4 wants it. Tatum Stowe with her 4th kill. And Bryce, she hasn't missed. She's 4 for 4.
And the thing is, I like it. She's playing more like a veteran.
Nearly an ace. They push it over. Now WT with a good chance. Here's Tori Miller. No, good defense by St. Mary's, but that ball will go down. The point, the kill to Tori Miller, and the Lady Buffs finish out set number 1. 25-16, the Lady Buffs take the first set. We'll take a timeout, come back and start set number 2. You're watching the BritKare Lady Buff Classic. Great volleyball action coming your way today here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Sounds from the West Texas A&M Pep Band. Bryce, we look at the statistics from the first set. That's an amazing attack percentage.
Yeah, 625 to 214. And I mean, it just shows you how aggressive the offense is. And again, once they get on that little roll like they did late in this first setup, I mean, that's just what's so hard to stop. And then that just kind of carries over.
11 digs for the Lady Buffs, 5 for St. Mary's. Not many attack errors for either side, 4 for St. Mary's, 2 for West Texas A&M, but just such clean volleyball for WT. And you're getting a lot of balance as well.
A lot of players getting in, a lot of getting good game experience. You know, Coach Potts, that's what she wants to see, because you want to see those players that kind of do step up in game situations.
Through the first set, Blair Moreland 9 assists, Ainsley Malice with 4 assists. The kills, Tori Miller 5, Tatum Stowe 4, Sam Jordan with 3, Ashlyn Vineyard and Cami Jones each with 2. And you look at everybody's hit percentage, it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing. You can go down through the lineup and really not any weak areas in there. It's pretty solid for early here in the season.
All right, start the second set. We're going to see some more players. I talked to Kendra yesterday after their first win, and she said it's a really good problem for me to have right now. She said, I'm trying to find ways to get everybody in. So we'll see Abby Nash, Kayla Elliott. Good block touch in the middle. Withers nearly got that kill in. St. Mary's thought there was a touch. As it stands, it's a point West Texas A&M. And again, back to serve. One of the new faces on the team this year, number 3, Piper Warren was at Tyler Junior College before coming over. Originally from Amarillo. Elliott, good job going down to get that ball for St. Mary's, and they're going to be rewarded. They get a kill. The defense is the libero, I should say, number 14, Alyssa Kale, true freshman from New Braunfels, Texas, out of the other Canyon High School in the state.
Right.
And was impressed with her yesterday. She was all over the court, digging up a lot of balls. Speaking of freshmen, here's another freshman back to serve, Danny Gray, 5 feet 4 inches tall, out of the San Antonio area. Out of system ball, so a chance here for St. Mary's. They try the right side, it works. Big time kill there for Lorene Robinson. She's a freshman from Bedford.
Well, again, good game experience for them, but these are where you make the adjustments. The coaches saw some things, and so now they'll make some subtle adjustments on where they want to do some sets and where they want to run the offense.
Good start here in set number 2 for St. Mary's. They trail the match 1-0 after the Lady Buffs took care of business in the first one, 25-16. That'll be a kill for Ashland Vineyard. Ties up the set 2-2. And we see Kayla Elliott go back to serve again. Last year, Elliott led the team with 35 service aces.
Wow.
She has a lot of different, sometimes she'll try to go low like she did there.
Right.
She misses. Sometimes she's aggressive and works the back row. But she's like almost, one of those players that you're going to have a few of those errors because she is so aggressive. But most of the time, it works out in her favor.
Well, and that's the thing. Kind of has some from time to time a little bit of that knuckleball kind of thing coming across. Those are so hard to handle.
But Coach Potts and Coach Shingler, they give her that freedom.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! I am telling you, we just cannot get enough of number 4, the freshman Tatum Stowe.
Brad,
5 for 5. She may not miss today.
Brad hasn't come up with a nickname yet. He's still struggling. You can tell on that.
It is hard to return her kills. That ball is wide. Missed point West Texas A&M. And again, with Stowe in the middle, it frees up Cammie Jones, Tori Miller, Kayla Elliott, Ashland Vineyard. Nice tip, good touch that time by Robinson. And so that is one thing Coach Ulrich talked to her team most likely about in the huddle in between sets is, all right, so WT has this big block set up. Now we need to make adjustments.
Right.
You can't continue to hit hard right into it.
And that's where you learn from match 1 to 2, or game 1 to game 2. What adjustments do you need to make?
Malice puts it in the middle. Didn't get a clean swing on that one from Jones. They'll try Cammie again on the right side. Good pickup by Callie Nims. Long rally here. Good defense both ways. Got to get this one over. Nims does. Free ball. Nash wound up. And somehow the Lady Buffs got the point.
Again, credit defense on that one because they kept it alive. Looked like it was going to just plop on the floor. And again, just players kind of flying to the ball.
Yeah, and the quickness of Abby Nash just real quick while the defense wasn't ready
got
for
it.
Up. Boom, pop right back up. Put it down. Sarah Ramey told me yesterday, she said, Abby Nash stayed here this summer and worked her tail off physically in much better shape this year. She's already a really good athlete. Big swing in the middle by Ubaja, but it was handled by Nash, so they play on. Miss hit that time. And you say a miss hit for Ubaja. She's going up, and she's got the long arms of Stowe right in her face. 6 serving 4. St. Mary's playing tough, though, here in set number 2. They're going to work the middle. It just came off on the hand there. An error in the middle will lead to another point for WT. Got to regain your composure right here. This is where you don't want to let the Lady Buffs get on a roll. Just a 3-point advantage right now. Nash, really good server. Back set. Swing misses. So these attack errors starting to add up. It's now 9 that St. Mary's has committed. And it's just tough to put WT in positions where they're making errors. They still have only committed 2. 545 to updated the hit percentage yet. It's going to dip under 100 now for St. Mary's. That'll be a service ace for Abby Nash. And a quick timeout here for Ulrich, Coach Ulrich. Let's keep it here, Daniel. Talk to Bryce Sheets a little bit more about WT athletics. Bryce, your first call of the season was soccer. Talk to us about
Butch Laufer, again, starting his 32nd year, longest tenured coach here on the campus of West Texas A&M. And again,
the professor, right?
Exactly. And playing St. Mary's. And so they, they kind of had a little bad taste in their mouth because they lost in double overtime to St. Mary's last year. So they came out and attacked early, they allowed St. Mary's to kind of be on their end early, but then they kind of righted the ship and then led 1-0 and then allowed a late goal in the second half, tied up at 1. And then, of course, all the fans are expecting, let's go over, let's go. Coach is going, this is a non-conference game.
Oh, so there's no overtime.
There's no overtime. Okay. So in a non-conference game, you don't have to play in overtime. So they were happy. Nobody got hurt. Got a good game to see how your flow is. So they're happy with that. WT, of course, getting ready to go up to the Northwest on the road. So they got a big road trip coming up next week. Then, of course, the Lady Buff soccer team, big 3-0 win last night.
Kent Johnson was the lucky charm there.
Filled in for me. I got to go do a high school game, and so Kent took care of it. They may want him to do it all the time.
We'll have to ask Kent about that.
We'll ask him.
9 serving 4 here at the box. West Texas A&M up 1-0 in the match over St. Mary's. See if the Rattlers can get in system and get a good offensive attack. Nice dig by Patterson. Ugbaja going to try again, and that one will get through off the block. The kill good for St. Mary's. Onto the floor for the first time today, Emma Becker. She's a true freshman, Bryce, an outside hitter from Liberty Hill, Texas. And Sarah told me, she said she's young, just a freshman, but she said she is an athlete, can really get up off the floor, wearing number 1 here for the Lady Buffs on the outside. They're going to try Cammie Jones, but a whistle and a 2-touch double called there against Ainsley Malice.
You talk about, and of course, Sarah Ramey so invested in all the athletes here,
yes.
And she knows all the athletes and
yes.
knows their strengths and weaknesses.
She did the broadcast for us last night in the final match for the Lady Buffs. Did an excellent job. A lift called there, so a couple of errors in a row, unlike the Lady Buffs, giving a couple points back to St. Mary's. Yeah, Sarah, she broadcast track and field, volleyball, football, basketball. I was telling her yesterday, is there a chess tournament? Could probably do that as well.
Avid cyclist. I mean,
yes.
She is one of those big, avid, stay in shape kind of people, cyclists.
And Sarah's tall. She's over 6 feet tall, and she told me yesterday, she said, I'm glad that Coach Prock on the women's basketball side has recruited some tall girls. We've got Tatum Stowe, who's tall. She said, it's nice for me to walk around campus and not be the tallest one. Nice dig from Emma Patterson. We're going to try on the outside. Connection for Landry Withers. Wow, she put that one down.
So, again, the best way to keep the home crowd out of it is really have a good offensive attack, and that's what St. Mary's has right now. And so WT kind of stumbling a couple of times the last time trying to play defense.
Withers with her 3rd kill on 11 attacks. Nash to the back row. That was close. St. Mary's plays on. Good adjustment by Withers. And they're not able to get it over. So give credit to the Rattlers. They, for the last 4 or 5 points here, guys, for the first time, we've seen WT look out of sorts defensively.
And again, you can kind of get in that lull when you feel like everything's going your way, and a couple of missed hits, and that allows your opponent right back into it.
Good pass from Nash. Malice will put it back to Jones. And that one's a souvenir. That one goes into the crowd. The kill for Cammie Slammy Jones.
The band is fun.
I think that in the offseason, that's what these guys do, Bryce. Not only do they work on their playing skills with the instruments, I think they sit down and they work on their creative chants.
Some chants that they want to.
Close call is in on the kill.
Right along the line, but referee was right there to look at it.
Rattlers hanging right with West Texas A&M here in the second set.
Well, you talk about that. They were like that in their second match yesterday, able to fight their way through it a bit.
Oh, wow, miscommunication, service ace. That should not happen. It was right between two players. And we're seeing the Lady Buffs huddle up. Abby Nash kind of being the leader out on the floor right now and telling her team, let's settle in here. Kind of hurting ourselves right now in set number 2. Moreland adjusts, gets the set back to Emma Becker. There's that vertical that Sarah Ramey was talking about.
Exactly. And that's the thing that, you know, when a server kind of gets on a roll, like in that particular case, you got to find some way to kind of change the momentum a little bit.
On to serve, Piper Warren. Great job. Again, the back row player has, you got to come up a little bit more.
I noticed the last time Piper Warren served too, she can put a little extra oomph on it. Small in stature, but I mean, can really power it across.
This time she works a little further to the back row. Withers adjusts, tips it over. Free ball for West Texas A&M. Vineyard hard swing off the block. The kill good for Ashland Vineyard. 5'11" product from Amarillo High School.
That's the fun thing with Kinder Potts too, getting local area kids. Of course, we have great volleyball around here, but then also scouring the state for good talent.
Oh, good placement on an out-of-system play there. Give credit to number 13, Sadie Huff, one of the lone seniors on the team. Puts it down and cuts the lead back to 2. Yeah, this roster for WT, Amarillo High, Hereford, Amarillo High, Bushland, Canyon, Highland Park. So, and then you mix that in with great talent from really around the country.
Yeah, really, I should have said more than just the state, because you do have players, as you mentioned, from Arizona and around. And so that just tells you, too, your networking is really working. And other high school coaches and others trust you.
It's a 1-point set here. Elliott changes that in the middle. We learned that last year with Kayla Elliott. Some of her kills from the middle come with a warning label as they go over. I mean, you want to try to get this ball back up, you're putting your body at risk. 15 serves 13. On the outside, that was a touch, I believe, so the kill will be good for Lindsay Ogle. Heavy hitter. Big swing on the outside there.
Yeah, I think if you're, again, St. Mary's, you've got to be pleased with how your team has responded here in the second game.
Serve coming from the freshman, Alyssa Kale. Oh, great job by Moreland to avoid being in the net. And there's another kill for St. Mary's. Tied again, 15-15. Confidence-wise, Bryce, if they could just get a point right here and take the lead, it'd be huge.
Oh, absolutely, because, again, playing a ranked team, and you got a young club, you're trying to build up some confidence. There you go.
Okay, they've got it. The service ace. We'll see if Kendra Potts is going to let her team play on or if we'll have a timeout. Just not as clean, and give St. Mary's a lot of credit. They've done some really good things in set number 2, but the defense has not been as solid for WT in set number 2. Vineyard, was there a touch? No. Swing is wide out, and I think, are going to have a timeout. Yeah. Coach Potts will call the team over as it's a good run here for St. Mary's, and the Rattlers lead by 2 in set number 2. Don't go anywhere. More volleyball action coming your way from Canyon, Texas, right after this.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you.
First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
See what the Lady Buffs do out of this timeout. Lucas Kinsey alongside Bryce Sheets, Thunder Vision production team, bringing you volleyball action all day long. Today, this is match number 2 of the day. The third match will feature number 12 ranked Northwest Missouri State against UCCS. That should be a fun match. And then at 4:30, St. Mary's, the Rattlers, right here in action. They'll play Adams State, followed up tonight at 7 o'clock with WT and Northwest Missouri State. Nash had to take that ball. Moreland wasn't going to be able to get to it. And the Rattlers make the Lady Buffs pay. They were out of sorts defensively, out of position. And at the net, Dallas Star Johnson puts it straight down.
So a lot of confidence as far as St. Mary's is concerned at the moment. And
yeah, got body language in favor of the team wearing blue jerseys, without a doubt. Moreland back set to Vineyard. Hard swing, but handled by Nims. That's going to be another point for the Rattlers. 19-15.
And we talked about during the break, too. This is Coach Potts is kind of letting the group settle and figure out what they need to change here a little bit.
Serve from the libero, Alyssa Kale. Whoa, Nash. Oh, they call it out.
Oh, I thought that was touched.
It was not touched. It was a hard swing from number 13, Abby Nash. But this is a 5-0 run here.
Right.
For St. Mary's University. Lady Buffs got some work to do. Miller back on the floor. Stowe does it again. Tatum Stowe, 6 for 6.
And again, she looked at it and adjusted. Instead of coming up with a big kill, she adjusted, just kind of flipped it off to the side a little bit where there wasn't anyone.
They're showing off her intelligence there on that play. Back to serve, Ainsley Malice. Right side, good dig back there by the setter Malice. Miller has to adjust, set a little off. Good rally here. Patterson tried to go high to get a hand on it. That was going to be tough either for her or for Piper Warren to get to. So it's another point for the Rattlers. It's a 5-point advantage here in set number 2 for St. Mary's. $11 digs overall for the Rattlers, 18 for WT. Miller, good touch. Most of the time, Tori's going to hit that ball hard through the block, but that time she saw an opening.
Again, a veteran player, you're correct, just reads the room, basically sees where she can just do a little dink and come away with getting a chance to serve.
For the Lady Buffs, you need some good transition play here to try to cut into this lead and quit trading points here, trailing by 4. Johnson blocked. Stowe in the middle. Denies that kill try by Dallas Star Johnson. Here's a replay. Good job, straight up, gets the hands over just like you're coached. Set the roof. And a service ace for Tori Miller. String some points together.
That gets the crowd back into it. They start to get some energy going as well.
So for this young St. Mary's team, you've built a lead. Now WT's cut into it. Can they respond? Better pass leads to a good set on the outside. The block touch, no, goes out. Give the kill to Ugbaja. And a much needed point there for St. Mary's trying to win this set. They're 3 points away. Back to serve, Lindsay Ogle. Nice pass from Miller. Oh, Withers with a nice kill. Cross court, too hot for Patterson to handle.
It's one of those that's on you before you really can react. Came so hard.
That was the 4th kill of the match for Landry Withers. Back row attack, Miller. Yes, no chance. They really like the defensive alignment that they saw from St. Mary's, went with the back row play. Miller coming up, 20, serves 23 with Emma Patterson on the service line. They're going to set up Withers. The set was off the mark, so WT has a chance now. And Becker goes up again. Love to see the excitement.
Kind of flexing after that, yeah.
Get up in the air, pound that ball down, and flex those muscles, Emma Becker. Big point coming here. Try the right side. Good block touch from Elliott and Becker. Now they try the outside. Denied again. This time Cammie Jones gets in on the mix. Elliott, good touch. Down the pipe. Probably a good timeout here from head coach Laura Ulrich. We'll take one as well. 22-23. Lady Buffs trail by 1. And we're back with more volleyball action right after these messages. West Texas A&M Lady Buffs, the volleyball season underway, day 2 for the BritKare Lady Buff Classic. And we've got a great match going on right now. The Lady Buffs won the first set, 25-16, but it's been St. Mary's that's been in control of set number 2. They've lost the last couple of points though, Bryce. The crowd is back into it. Lady Buffs trail by 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's a veteran team kind of fighting through it and being able to work your way back in it.
Patterson to serve, gets the signal from the referee. Nims puts it up in the middle. Johnson blocked. They're able to control it though. And a nice job tooling the block and getting the kill. Again, Landry Withers, another freshman. She's from Stephenville. That's the thing you gotta love if you're a St. Mary's fan. You're saying, freshman.
Right.
Making a lot of plays.
A lot of building blocks, though, right there.
All right, it's set point here for the Rattlers. Can they even up the match? Good pass from Becker. They go to Elliott, and I think she missed on that swing. So the set will go to St. Mary's, 25-22. That was big there.
Yeah, it really was. And again, good experience and good momentum for a young team.
Elliott had the right idea, just missed. So that takes us to the timeout as we head to set number 3, all tied 1-1. Great match here at the BritKare Lady Buff Classic. We're back with more volleyball after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Welcome back to BritKare Court here at the box in Canyon, Texas. Lucas Kinsey alongside Bryce Sheets. And we've got a match. Lady Buffs looked solid in the first set, 25-16. St. Mary's, a very young team, but a very talented team, responds with a 25-22 win in the second set. So now we go to the third, all tied up. Pull up the stats as we talk here. And Bryce, your thoughts? What did St. Mary's do better in set number 2?
Yeah, I think if they were more aggressive offensively, and so they saw a couple of things. They made the adjustments, and so a young team, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to teach them what adjustments to make, and so they saw some things. They were able to go through and make those adjustments. It went to their advantage, give them a lot of confidence. And so now the question is, can you, with a young team, does it transition here into the third?
Yeah, very important set here. Still a very good hit percentage for West Texas A&M at .423, but they didn't get as many
opportunities. Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
Because you look at the stats, there's 61 attacks for St. Mary's and only 52 for West Texas A&M.
So, again, credit what St. Mary's was able to do to make some changes.
Rattlers to serve. Here's Miller. Nice dig by Kale. Into the net for Withers, but again, number 14 for St. Mary's, very impressive going down and digging that ball up. Off the swing from Miller. 1-0 lead for West Texas A&M. Kayla Elliott back to serve. Ace for the senior from Wildomar, California. Veteran presence and just a great young lady. Solid leader for Kinder Potts' team. Second serve. It's a couple of service errors for Kayla today, but Lady Buffs still lead by 1. Both sides with some really good offensive balance. In terms of offense, Lorene Robinson with 6 kills, Landry Withers with 5, Ubaja with 5, and Ogle with 4. Tatum Stowe straight down.
She gets so high, and the thing is, it feels like a sledgehammer coming at you.
You know, to be honest, Bryce, it reminds me when she's hitting straight down. It's a different sport, but it reminds me. My son has a Nerf goal upstairs. Yes. It's like when I take the ball and I slam it down on the Nerf goal. That's what it looks like with Stowe. It's not fair. Lady Buffs love it. Here's Malice. She'll push outside to Miller. Roll shot. Didn't get enough oomph on that one. So St. Mary's plays on. Here's Briley Contreras in the lineup. Hard hit, but handled. Good defense again by St. Mary's. Just denying these kill tries by WT. In the middle, Stowe. Not able to get it. They stay alive. Miller on the outside. That will go down. Oh, yes.
You talk about determination that time. I mean, she just, everything she had was going into that one.
Perfect set. Put up as well from Ainsley Malice. You know, they call Tori the Terminator. I'd like to do one of those posters where she's got the sunglasses on and the old Arnold Schwarzenegger pose. 5 5 serving 1. Great start for West Texas A&M. One hand set. Oh, miscommunication there.
Goodness.
And Coach Potts comes up and says, that was not the play. So the error will give the point to St. Mary's. 2 serves 5. Alyssa Kale back for the Rattlers at the service line. Into the tape. Talk about Tori Miller being a fiery competitor. Do you think Kendra Potts is a fiery competitor?
I think she is extremely fiery. She bolted out of that chair when she went over to gently make a suggestion.
Well, she was a competitor, a
yes.
great competitor as a player.
Yes.
Right here for the Lady Buffs, an All-American. And the Lady Buffs in the net.
That's interesting. Both coaches, you watch them come out, and instruction is still being given. This is obviously a great time to do that, but St. Mary's coach walking down the line, talking to a player on the end. Just make sure they understand they're on the same page.
Stowe, good block touch that time by St. Mary's. Miller flying through the air, back row, still can't get one down. Nobody with a clean kill shot yet, and that's because of some really good defense. Tip, good. Nice adjustment that time for Lindsay Ogle.
And you're right, that's the great word, adjustment, because it looked like she was going to just power up and just does a touch, gets it across the net.
Well, both sides on that sequence there on that rally, block touch. Nobody was getting anything clean. Like that, Cammie Jones, outstanding placement. She gets the kill down for the Lady Buffs. 7-4 lead for Cammie. Kill number 4 of the day. 4 for 8 hitting. Great job by the Lady Buff setters. Malice has 10 assists. Blair Moreland already with 16. Perfect pass. Nims sets it up for Ogle. Did not get that ball over.
Yet St. Mary's hanging in this one.
Yeah.
Staying close, not letting the home team get away.
Well, they're a team that just the eye test tells you preseason Lone Star Conference probably not picked maybe as high as what they could finish. This is a team that made improvements last year. And again, you're playing this close with the preseason favorite. You're getting a lot of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is you can see that they're growing in not just confidence, stature, everything else, as they continue to play.
That'll be a service ace for Blair Moreland. Such a skilled player. Again, last year had a tremendous season as a freshman, second on the team in assists. And, they kept that ball alive. Great hustle by Nims. Trying to track it down on the other side was Ogle, but it's a point for the Lady Buffs, 10-5 lead.
A good crowd on hand. They've been in it the whole way.
Just looking up this on the preseason poll, they were picked 9th in the Lone Star Conference. So we'll see how that turns out, but strong showing this weekend to this point. Off the touch, Patterson comes up and handles it. Good job. Elliott in the middle is able to get the kill.
Well, and again, a tournament like this is just going to help them keep getting better.
Score 11-5, West Texas A&M with the lead. Let's keep it here. Bryce, want to go back to our earlier conversation about the WT football team.
Right.
And we talked a lot of offense.
Right.
Let's switch sides and let's talk about what you saw on the defensive side, which for WT over the last several years has been a really good, for Hunter Hughes, it's been very good.
Obviously, you've got a player that is the preseason defensive player of the year, and the linebacking core kind of running everything.
JT Cavender.
And so JT, again, he's going to be the guy kind of lining everybody up this year.
Chris Thomas is
Chris
back
Thomas
as well.
is back here as well. So that's probably the front seven is probably the strength when you look at not only just the linebackers, which WT has had great linebacking for the last several years, but again, JD was talking about he likes the depth and rotation of their front three.
Okay.
And so he's pretty pleased with how deep they are there. So the front seven looks pretty solid. The question's going to be the secondary, and that's going to be the thing that, you got some young players stepping in to fill some shoes. And in addition to that, how physical are they going to be? So that's going to be the question.
Okay. Again, the opener next Saturday for West Texas A&M taking on Western Colorado, a team that went to the playoffs last year.
Western Colorado has really improved over the last 3 years. They really have gotten much, much better.
They return an All-American running back. Good hustle from Patterson. Becker destroys that ball. Really like these freshmen, Bryce. You got Stowe in the middle, Becker on the outside. Another freshman that we are not going to see this weekend because she's a little bit bugged with an injury is the libero out of Bushland, J.C. Adams. And Coach Potts really likes her as well. So
yes.
It's a great recruiting class.
Right. And so, again, that just, sets it up for conference play and how good. Obviously, they're picked high, so they're anticipated to be good. But just how good can they be?
And I think that's I guess you could call it a challenge, but in a good way, a challenge for Kendra Potts early in the season is figuring out what the best lineups are.
Yeah, and that's what these games do right now. These matches allow her to do that.
Ball popped up. Withers gets it over. Elliott with the kill in the middle. Great job.
And as deep as WT is, that just means you're going to keep players fresh, too, because it doesn't really matter who's coming in seconds and thirds and really, doing what they're doing. They just all do their job.
Well, and offensively, if you can have this much balance, you also save, Tori Miller, All-American, right? Two-time All-American. Well, there were some matches the last 2 years where she simply had too many attacks, too many swings.
Right.
Defense was keying on her. Plus, Sarah Ramey said you don't want her arm to fall off.
No.
That's not the case so far this season. There's a lot of players they're going to. Great hustle to keep that ball alive.
They hit it like 5 times.
Dallas Star Johnson, Coach Potts is upset.
I think that's why she went over there.
Okay.
Because they hit it like 5 times.
I was enamored with the hustle from St. Mary's. Bryce, you were keeping track with your math over there, and it was maybe one too many hits for St. Mary's.
Yeah.
You still only get 3, right, buddy?
The last I checked, I haven't checked into the new rule changes this year, but last time I checked, that was correct.
Score 14-6 as it stands right now. West Texas A&M again. More volleyball coming your way today. 2 o'clock match will feature Northwest Missouri State against University of Colorado Springs. The Mountain Lions, St. Mary's will be back in action at 4:30 against Adams State, and then the nightcap, the one that fans are really looking forward to, West Texas A&M against Northwest Missouri State. Bearcats, one of the better programs in all of Division II, known for their football, their basketball, obviously. As WT faced off against Northwest Missouri State a couple of years ago at the Final Four, actually the national championship game.
Well, that MAHC is just such a good conference, too. And, that'll be, hopefully a good crowd out for that one this evening. So.
Going back and looking at this challenge, go ahead, Bryce.
Well, I was just going to say the officials now going through looking at the challenge. The scrimmage today, of course, there were officials out there. We kind of take it for granted that they don't need to get in game shape, too. They do. And there was a lot of instruction. I was watching the officials instructing new, younger officials out there as well. And so, again, just pointing out some things that, and I know it's Coach Hughes, that he brought special teams over to talk with the officials at a point to make sure everybody's on the same page as far as the rules, fair catches, things like that. They just don't want to have confusion. They just want to make sure good communication.
I always enjoy talking to officials just about what they see, the rules, those kind of things. One of the high school officials that I'm close with, Clark Pilot, does basketball games and also volleyball matches. So this summer he was doing a volleyball match. My daughter was playing in, so I went over in between the breaks and just started talking to him. And I said, Clark, tell me about the difference as a basketball official versus a volleyball. And he said, physically, it's different. Basketball, there's a lot of running.
Yeah, sure.
But he said the thing about volleyball, he said, I'll finish a volleyball match, especially one that goes 5 sets. Mentally, I'm exhausted because of what the brain is having to follow for 2.5 hours. It's taxing.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And again, he's a great, he's just one of those guys that really stands out for the work ethic he's put into it for 20 plus years.
Making it a craft.
You know, that's a former WT football player that he had a very nice collegiate career, and he does such a good job as an official. And so
it would be tough to make a lot of these calls.
Absolutely. And it's easy. Again, you talked about the college experience, screaming as a fan in the stands. That's easy for the fans to do, but you're not right on the floor, and you've got to keep up with it. And so, you know, the officiating crews that we have around this area do such a good job.
Well, they don't win the challenge. Coach Potts will come over and ask for an explanation.
Yeah, she should get it because there were 5 hits on that play. And so it was 3. It came over to the near side, but nobody on WT hit it. It was a player for St. Mary's that knocked it back.
Well, judging her body language, I'm going to guess Kendra Potts is saying, I don't believe you.
Yes, I don't think she got the explanation she was expecting.
But you play on.
Yep.
You lead by 8. It's 6 serving 14. We'll see if St. Mary's can grab some momentum. Becker had to adjust. Set was a little off, so she pushed it. Oh, great block. Becker with a hard swing, but went right into the teeth of that defense, right in the middle. Sadie Huff and company. Give credit as well in the middle to Brianna Morris-Worth, a junior out of Yukon, Oklahoma, transfer from North Central Texas. Moreland, one-hand set, put it up nicely for Becker. Good touch, though, for St. Mary's. That set was off. Miller dives and keeps the ball up. And it was out. Really both sides. Bryce never really in system. Not a clean attempt.
Yeah.
Ends with an attack error. Point goes to St. Mary's. And the Rattlers have trimmed it back to 6.
Yeah.
WT's got to be careful here.
This is where you don't want them to get the momentum. They've taken the home crowd out of it at the moment.
Elliott through the block and able to get it down. So big point there. Elliott gets the kill, her 6th of the match. And Contreras serves. Out. Doubled up the Rattlers, 16 serving 8 yesterday. Mentioned it was Briley Contreras' birthday, and she had, I believe it was 3 service aces. And they came back to back to back in that win over Adams State. Good defense by the Rattlers. Vineyard puts a hard swing, though, on that one and puts it down. She can hit the ball hard.
Again, she just kind of surveyed the opposition that time and just got up high and waylaid that one.
Contreras works the back row on the serve. They try the right side. Miller off the touch and down for the kill. Tori's 9th kill of the match. She's one of those players that could be intimidating to go against. That's a nice kill there for St. Mary's. Off the touch.
I'm laughing. I think one of the graduate assistant coaches is up there kind of cheering on the last opportunity for the Lady Buffs.
9 will serve 18 here, St. Mary's. Hanging around here in set number 3. They won the second set, tied up the match 1-1. Miller Down again.
That's just a veteran player. She was far enough back from the net. She could kind of get a good look and lean into it and just powered it.
Very efficient today for Tori. 10 kills, 16 attacks. She's hitting close to 600. Block. And down, point for the Lady Buffs. Stowe and Miller combined there. And if you're Tatum Stowe, we've been talking about how talented the freshman is, Bryce. It's a great, opportunity for her because she comes in and she's got players like Kayla Elliott and Tori Miller, on that front line, Abby Nash, to help her learn the game and just become a better player every time she steps on the floor.
So St. Mary's is questioning because they called 4 hits on that one, and so they're going to look at it again. I didn't see 4 that time. I saw 2, but it either was 2 double hits or something. I'm not sure what, but that's what they're questioning at the moment.
They'll go to the monitor and review. Let's step aside take a quick timeout. Lady Buffs lead 20-9. We're back with more volleyball right after this quick timeout.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Still taking a look at that last review. Our score here in the third set. Lady Buffs lead 20-9. And they have been in control through most of this set. Updated stats for you. Lady Buffs hitting 405. St. Mary's just 149. Look at WT's defense, Bryce. 34 digs.
Yeah. And that's being aggressive defensively, too. And so that's kind of the thing. You talk about that a little bit. I mean, that sounds kind of odd. You're aggressive offensively, but if you can play aggressive defensively as well, in other words, you are really going after it a little bit more than normal. That's what makes a big difference. Well, and the dig category shows that.
In this roster, they come out and they say point West Texas A&M confirmed. The digs are spread out. Emma Patterson, Blue Barrow does have 10, but Blair Moreland has 5. Malice has 4. Piper Warren has 4. Tori Miller has 3. So
it's the balance. That's the big thing.
They've got some players that are not just offensive powerhouse type players. They're good defensive players as well.
Yeah, and they're still talking to the sideline official. And again, I get the coach's standpoint because I did not see it, and I'm right down the net. And so
on the call for touch.
Yeah, I just didn't see it. Yeah, they're even bringing out a rule book.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow, interesting. And again, you're credit St. Mary's' coach standing up for players.
Oh,
he hands him the rule book. Now that can get you thrown out of a match.
This is entertaining, right, Bryce? Yeah. It's like when the kid thinks they're right and they pull out some document and show the parent. Yeah, you know.
I did get an A. It's right here. Well, and again, you make your point, but it's time to move on.
Sure.
Because you don't want to get too. So now this is where St. Mary's sends over a player to talk to the head official.
Yeah, they talk to the captains. Tori Miller comes over along with number 14, Alyssa Kale. And really,
she's going to give her the rule book.
If you're WT, Bryce, you're saying, okay, this is slowing the game down.
And that's the point, too. That's the other thing. And, you know, it was interesting. In between was kind of interesting. In between matches,
I've never seen this before, Bryce. I'm sorry, but we are taking out a page of the rule book and coming over and
this poor player is going. I know, I want to explain it to you.
Right here, official rule number 3, section B, 72.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, the Lady Buffs are going to have a dance party.
Yeah.
Don't you love volleyball?
Well, and again, like I said, in between, before we started this third game, the head referee was talking to the band director.
That is true.
And and there was a big conversation, and I'm not sure. The band director went down there to talk to the referee. Now she's off the podium, and she's walking over to say, let's move this along.
The only thing that could be better is if public address announcer Brad Stark could be giving us some play-by-play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down there.
Brad's smiling, so he's kind of enjoying this conversation as well.
He's not ornery at all, is he?
So now the officials are pulling out their official rule book.
Oh, wow.
And so
this is where if we're
subset B.
If this were the NFL, we'd be going to someone in New York,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Who would be
yes.
making an official ruling.
Yes.
Let's ask Bucky.
Yes. Why not?
Our score, we think, is 20-9, West Texas A&M. Great job by our camera operators here with all kinds of things going on, except for actual volleyball play. With the score 20-9, Lady Buffs leading. And you almost get the feel that somebody's going to have to go do like an online rules course.
Right.
At some point, somebody make a call. Let's move on. The Rattlers won the second set 25-22. Lady Buffs won the first set 25-16. So this third set critical here for both sides. It's going to be tough for the Rattlers to come back, though. They've dug themselves an 11-point hole.
You know, the one thing about it right now, you've got Kendra Potts who's in talking some strategy with her team, while the head coach for St. Mary's is busy talking to the officials. And so, again, it's a technical issue. I get it.
Sure.
If this was a conference game, I would say, have the long discussion. But since this is not,
they've even got us on camera up here, Bryce. Don't ask us, Emma. We don't know the rules as well as these people down on the floor do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's why they have a book with them. So, interesting. And the one thing it is doing is you have a good opportunity for players to kind of get tight now because they're not continuing the flow of action. So,
and I would step aside for a timeout, but I'm afraid I'm going to miss.
I know.
Bryce.
I know. Interesting. And now you got the band involved. Oh, goodness. Again, we talked about the WT soccer team. The guys, they're getting ready to go. The Great Northwest. They have some matches up in the Seattle area. They'll be up there, Idaho. So they'll be heading out that way. And, of course, Buff football is next Saturday right here.
Bryce, you had a chance to talk to Butch Lawfer, before the season started.
Yes.
Did he teach you a lot of soccer? I mean, the guy has so much knowledge.
He really did. And, again, I'm more or less, I'm not overly experienced when it comes to the pitch and how to play and everything else. And, he was very kind to kind of guide me on some different things and kind of have me go through a couple of things to look at. And so, and the thing I think people, we talk about in particular his case, 32 years with the program, but he is not only a national figure, he's an international figure. He goes to different places around the world to help with soccer programs.
Okay, I'm trying to read what's going on down there. The assistant coach for St. Mary's was holding up the rule book and kind of doing a little bit of a dance, maybe celebrating. Are they going to end up rewarding the points to St. Mary's or doing a replay?
And here's the thing. At this point, I mean, if I'm Coach Potts, I might just say, hey, give him the point. Let's go. Let's get it going. We're still doubling up on them.
At what point do we just go rock, paper, scissors? I'm just saying, Bryce.
Pull out a deck of cards and play Go Fishing.
So did both sides get a little bit of a victory there? The Lady Buffs get the point.
Yeah. They got something about their video. And I think that may be the issue is that the player had their back turned to, but not to the official. That's why the official called 4 touches.
Okay.
And so.
$20 serving 9 after just a short delay. Good serve by Elliott. Moreland back set to Vineyard. Good block touch to slow the offense down. Now chance, a block. There was a chance, and then Stowe.
Stowe just, I mean. See, Brad's working on that. He's working on it.
Okay. Another good serve from Elliott. Already out of system a little bit for St. Mary's. Moreland pushes out to Miller off the touch. Kill for Tori Miller.
And I'll go back to that delay. That kind of hurt the momentum a little bit for St. Mary's. It caused them a long delay.
Oh, good spin off that serve from Elliott. And again, it's going to be a free ball. Lady Buffs. Stowe puts down her 8th kill. She's now 8 for 11. And also has 3 blocks.
I can tell you right now, opposing teams are starting to circle number 4
yes.
when they're looking at video.
The other thing they're doing is they're double checking the roster. They're saying, she's just a freshman.
Yeah.
Oh, good hit, but Moreland goes down to get it. Joust at the net. Lady Buffs play on. Here's a chance for the Rattlers, though. A miss hit on the outside, attacking error, and it is set point for the Lady Buffs. Feels like this is the 4th set, but it's just the 3rd.
It's just the 3rd.
Lady Buffs trying to take a 2-1 lead. Elliott puts it over. Withers denied. The block from guess who?
Oh, man.
So here's the replay, Bryce. St. Mary's looked like they had a good opportunity, but there's number 4 on the other side of the net. So a great job for the Lady Buffs.
5 unanswered points.
They dominate the 3rd set, 25-9. They'll have a chance to close it out. When we come back after these messages, we'll start set number 4. You're watching the BritKare Lady Buff Classic here on the LSC Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
back to the box, BritKare Court. As we get ready for set number 4, let's pull up the stats from the first 3 sets. Lady Buffs and Rattlers, and a great hit percentage again for West Texas A&M. 416 to just 109.
Yeah.
And what you saw in that last set there, Bryce, was much better defense for the Lady Buffs.
And absolutely much better defense, and then again,
which leads to great offense.
It does. You can be a little more aggressive offensively, and I thought the Lady Buffs did that. And they really, after that long delay, they kind of set a quick tone that, okay, we're in our house, we're going to take care of business.
36 digs for WT, just 21 for St. Mary's. Individually, Tori Miller into double figures with 11 kills on 17 attempts, 588 percentage for her. Tori has 2 blocks. Tatum Stowe with 4. Stowe has 8 kills. Ashlyn Vineyard with 5. Kayla Elliott with 5. Cami Jones has 4 kills. Emma Becker and Sam Jordan each with 3. On the other side for St. Mary's, good balance. Landry Withers and Laureen Robinson each with 7 kills. Lindsay Ogle with 6 kills and Ugbaja with 5. One of the big differences, though, is the hit percentage for all of these players.
Right.
Several attempts with not as many kills.
Right, not the results they want.
This player in the net came under the net, actually, which is scary when that happens. You get a lot of twisted ankles, but point goes to the Lady Buffs. And the reason for that under the net was the set was off the mark. Briley Contreras serves. Out. It was close. Trying to work that left sideline.
Yeah, that's really it. The player was coming up to hit it and thought, oh, I'll just duck out of the way and let it go out.
50-50 on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Serve over from Danny Gray. Right side attack is good. The kill through the hands of the defender. That was number 11, Laureen Robinson. Good start for St. Mary's. And that will be double against the Rattlers.
I think that's the other thing. Pointing rules out to the officials, then when you get to the next round, they're going to be a little more stickler than they were before.
Bryce, you and I, we've done a lot of basketball over the years, and that's what we said in the break is that would never work in a basketball game. Can you imagine Tom Brown taking out a page of the rule book and showing
it? Yeah.
Actually, I can't imagine that.
Well,
but it would not go over well.
I guess you pick your points.
Yeah, different games, both equally so fun. Here's Blair Moreland. Oh my goodness, set Stowe.
And when you set her the right spot, that's such a sweet swing.
The other thing too is defensively, teams are going to learn this quickly. You better get someone in her face.
Right.
If there's an opening there, I don't know how you return the ball. So you've got to defend her and slide those blockers over. When you do that, though, you're opening up a hole for Tori Miller. Good hang time by Stowe. Just get it over. Elliott goes down and saves that one. Long rally here. That was in. Good swing. Again from Laureen Robinson.
And I think that's one thing St. Mary's is going to find, too. They've got some players that are stepping up, different ones that are stepping up in this one. And so that'll help with their rotation as well.
That was kill number 9 for Laureen Robinson, leading her team. Battlestar Johnson with a tip. Contreras saves it. Miller had to track that down. Tough angle. Long rally. Can Vineyard put the kill down? No. Block touch. And Stowe able to push it through. That took a while.
That was a rally. That was nicely done by both teams.
Here's how it finished. Patterson popped it up. And again, you've tried the right side, you tried the outside. Let's go back to the middle and see if Tatum Stowe can get down the kill, and she did, which was her 10th kill into double digits. Career high for a match for Tatum Stowe. It's almost like yesterday was, Kendra Potts putting the freshman out there. Okay, we're going to play you limited action, see how you do. She did well.
Yeah.
And today it's like, okay.
Yeah, let's unleash a little bit.
No training wheels needed for number 4. Violation against the Rattlers back row blocker.
And that, again, shows you I wouldn't even have noticed that from just a spectator sport.
Overpass. So here's a free ball for West Texas A&M. Contreras bump set out to Miller. Good job by Kale to go down and get that ball. And a nice swing and a kill. Good for the Rattlers. And they're trying to push this match to another set. Right now it's Lady Buffs on top, 2-1 here in set number 4. First set, 25-16, Lady Buffs. Second set, Rattlers won it 25-22. And third set, Lady Buffs 25-9. Great set. And Miller hit that one hard.
Veteran player just knows exactly where to go. I think, the last 3 times when she's set to serve, she's had a kill right before it.
It's a good strategy. Works. Becker is able to get it down. She has such a great vertical that really the set doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
She can hang and adjust. That time the set was on the mark. So was the kill. For Ainsley Malice, give her a 13th assist in the match. Can't track that ball down, so Tori Miller stays on the service line. And head coach Laura Ulrich going to take a quick timeout with her team, trailing 10-4 here in the 4th set. We'll step aside, come back with more volleyball action. Lady Buffs lead it 2-1 in the match. We're back with more right after this. Action here in Canyon, Texas. St. Mary's bench huddled up there, see if they can regain that confidence that we have seen at times throughout this match. But not an easy task early in the season. Young team on the road against the number 14 ranked team in the country.
At their home place and a good crowd.
Miller serves again. Job on the block touch, Jones and Stowe. Again, Jones and Stowe. Malice, back to Cammie. I think that was in. She hits it so hard, it's coming off so fast that your eyes are going real quick to see, was it in, was it out?
Right.
Powerful hitter, number 10. Overpass. Oh, miscommunication on that overpass. That's one that I'm wondering if Coach Potts is, well, she's talking to her team. Becker took it so quick, and there really wasn't anyone ready to take that second
That's one
ball.
of the, you pull that film out because that's something you're going to work on in practice this week.
Because you got to take advantage if you got an overpass. It's kind of a gift. Good pass from Miller. Malice puts it back to Cammie Jones. Get out of the way, folks. So Jones heating up. She now has 6 kills. And you just look at the hit percentages go down the line. 550, 769, 500 for Cammie, 375 for Kayla, 429 for Emma Becker. Sam Jordan, 750. Nice job on the outside. The kill is good for Morris Worth.
And the other thing is you look on the other side of the screen, and, it's half that, basically. And I get it. Young team, they're still learning and everything else, but that just shows you how dominant WT can be.
6 serving, 12 here. Nice serve from Johnson. Hitter to hitter there. As Miller set up Cammie Jones. Nice pass. Oh, they called a double against Ainsley Malice. Back-to-back points for the Rattlers. They trim the lead to 5. Lady Buffs looking to win this set and close out the match. Service ace. As the Rattlers trying to pick on the freshman Emma Becker. And good leadership. Tori Miller looks over to Emma.
Talks to her, again, and then Coach Potts just letting her stay and kind of learn through this process.
Overpass. Good chance here for St. Mary's. The block, good for the Lady Buffs. That ball goes down and in. Kill for St. Mary's. 3 straight points for the Rattlers. Making a run into the lineup for West Texas A&M for the first time on the floor is Angelina Oliver, wearing number 20. A middle blocker from Albuquerque, New Mexico, transferred from New Mexico Highlands, and found out yesterday that not only did she play volleyball for Highlands, as there's a kill for Emma Becker, but also Angelina Oliver did the high jump last year.
Oh, wow.
In track and field for the Cowgirls. Another new face here for West Texas A&M. Zaria Parker, 5'6" redshirt freshman. Originally from Austin, Texas, but she was last year playing for Gonzaga.
Oh, wow. A bit of different terrain for her.
The College of John Stockton, former point guard for the Utah Jazz. Trivia for you. Big point coming here. And it's through the block. Nicely done by Liz Ubaja.
The other trivia on that, my boss came from Spokane to Amarillo.
Oh, wow.
So he has 10 years up there, big Gonzaga, depending on where you live in the country you want to call it. Big fan.
Patterson saves that from being a service ace. The set was off the mark. No chance for Becker. Lead trimmed to 2. Coach Potts with some instructions for Parker, who is on this roster the 3rd setter.
Right.
Good eyes. That serve drifts out. 14, serves 11. Riley Contreras back in for West Texas A&M. Perfect pass. Can't get the swing they want, though. Oh, good help from Contreras. And the swing was out. Good recognition. They wanted to go to the middle. Oliver, the timing was off, so she wasn't going to be able to get the ball, and so Contreras recognizes it, comes up from the back row.
Yep. Again, that's just good court awareness.
Right side. Good hustle. Tori goes into the crowd. Be careful. But St. Mary's has a chance, and they take advantage.
They really did, too, because they saw WT was going to be overly aggressive at the net, so they just do a little dink over.
I think Torrey would go to the concession stand to get a ball back, I think.
Probably
you know? Vineyard, great swing from the lefty. And a big point there, they needed that. If St. Mary's wins the point, it's a 2-point deficit instead. They push it to 4. And to serve, Angelina Oliver. Hits the tape, falls backwards. Service error gives St. Mary's points. For West Texas A&M, just the 5th serving error of the match. St. Mary's with 7. Parker to Stowe. And net violation that time against St. Mary's. Stowe put the ball down hard.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered on that particular one.
No. Here's Ainsley Malice at the service line. Short. And it's interesting, Bryce, just watching volleyball over the last several years, the strategy with serving, right? I mean, you're going to have several of those. I mean, we just mentioned it, six errors for WT, 7 for St. Mary's, but you watch the coaches, it's hard. You don't want to be too tough on your players in terms of just the mental side, because the next time they come up to serve, you got to forget about the last one.
I think these games in particular, too, a tournament like this is a great opportunity to give instruction, but you don't have to be overly critical.
Right. Oh, great dig by Kale. Miller tried to put finesse on her kill shot, and the point still goes to West Texas A&M.
Stowe at the net. The big block.
Huge dig advantage, 46-28, West Texas A&M. Stowe has that attempt blocked back. Oh, nice.
That's a tough one, too, because your mind's saying, let it go. No, can't let it go. And it's kind of high. And so you kind of go back and forth on that one.
Give the kill to Lindsay Ogle, her 9th. The assist by Danny Gray. And the Rattlers are right here within striking distance, trailing by just 2. Now trailing by 3. You know, just from an athletic stature and the way she plays, and this is going to seem like a really big compliment to Becker, but Bryce, she reminds me about the same height, gets off the floor like a player that played here, Shannon Stroud.
Yeah.
Who was so good.
And I think, you know, when you're recruiting, too, that you're looking for those type of players. You have a certain type that you like. And so those players that came before kind of set the table for coaches when they're out recruiting.
Now you say 5'9" in the game of volleyball. Not tall, but when you jump like Emma does, makes up the difference,
huge,
right?
Huge.
Serving 16. Good set. Good job by Ainsley Malice to come up, save that ball. Becker pounds it again. Souvenir. You get a ball. You get a ball. Emma Becker the youngster.
Man,
showing off
that
the
one
skills.
over. Yeah.
Lady Buffs lead 21-16. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. Be right back with more volleyball action after this.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Timeout there for St. Mary's as they are trying to avoid the Lady Buffs. There's a look at head coach Laura Ulrich working hard with her team, trying to avoid the Lady Buffs winning this one and capturing the match as they are up 2-1, trying to make it 3-1 and close it out, leading by 5 points.
I still think, though, Coach Ulrich's probably really pleased with how her team has played here today because they haven't gotten blown out. They've stayed in, other than the first, really, they've stayed in every game they've played.
Serve over. And the Rattlers. Big swing, but not in. So a point back to West Texas A&M. And Patterson will just keep serving. Emma got a lot of good experience last year. 28 matches for the Lady Buffs, including her time on the floor. 19 service aces, 130 digs. She's off to a solid start here in her sophomore year. Becker adjusts, tracks the ball, gets it over. Free ball. Malice to Oliver. Another good dig by Kale. Back row attack. These two teams go back and forth. Block touch by the Rattlers. Oh, just missed.
Yeah.
So the Rattlers had to earn that one, but a big point for St. Mary's.
Bring it within 5.
Now Star Johnson.
Here's Dallas Star Johnson, a freshman out of Madison High School in San Antonio. But watch out there, the overpass. And
came back to haunt on that one.
Yeah, Huff was right there at the front door. WT changes up the serve-receive formation. Good pass from Miller. Back to Jones on the right side. And again, there's your balance. They've been going to Emma Becker on the outside. The defense shifts. Setter reads it, puts it over on the right side. Cammie Jones.
And they had the overshift, as you're talking about, committed on this side, and so had an open spot for her just to drop it home.
So to compare that to football, it's your quarterback back there, and you got all-pro receiver on this side, all-pro receiver on that side.
Right.
I'll go wherever I want.
Exactly.
Like the Dallas Cowboys used to have, Bryce. Like when I was a kid. Not that I have any issues with football at all, but all right, 24-18. This year's the year, right?
It is, maybe.
Here's Parker to serve for West Texas A&M. Set point, match point for the Lady Buffs. In the middle, big swing. St. Mary's stays in it. Give the kill to Sadie Huff.
And that's who really they need to feed right now. And I think they are intentionally, because she's kind of got a hot streak going on. And so try to find Sadie close to the net and let her kind of survey and find an open area.
5 kills for Huff. Good serve. Set was off. Good athleticism to get it over by Becker. Miller takes that one. WT in the net. They called Oliver in the net, so back-to-back points by St. Mary's. A third chance for the match for WT. Crowd stomping their feet, clapping their hands, and Parker just gets it up off the floor. Set was off. So, the Lady Buffs had a chance, but it was hit awkwardly there by Becker, went right over, and Morris Worth took advantage. So 3 in a row by St. Mary's.
They're fighting their way back in it.
Parker puts it up high for Becker. Was there a touch? No. And Becker's swing went out. 4 straight points. Lead cut to 2. So not so fast, says St. Mary's. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. Back with the Lady Buffs and the Rattlers. Don't go anywhere.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
All right, Kendra Potts takes the timeout, makes a substitution. Kayla Elliott back on the floor. St. Mary's with the serve. They have scored 4 straight points, the Rattlers have. Match point again here for West Texas A&M. Serve from Stifler. In the middle, touch doesn't work. That does. It was Emma Becker that went up high. Defense wasn't ready for it. She put it straight down, and that ends the match. Right there. The Lady Buffs improved to 3-0 this season. They don't get a sweep, but they do win 3-1 over a very gritty St. Mary's team that I'm excited to see throughout the season because they're very young.
How they improve, that's going to be a big key. And it looks like they're a team that is going to grow in stature this year. So, it'll be interesting.
25-16, 22-25, 25-9, and then 25-22. Lady Buffs win it. We'll step aside, take a timeout, come back, have some stats for you post-game. Our next match will be 2 o'clock with Northwest Missouri State and UCCS. Great job there by the West Texas A&M Pep Band as Lady Buffs come over after the victory, and that's what they should be giving the band.
Yeah, no kidding.
Some thanks, right?
I think so. They were phenomenal today.
Look at the stats and see if there's an assist for the band in here. Speaking of those stats, Bryce, so we look at these final stats. Lady Buffs hit 394 for the match to just 130. That's the thing. They just wear. Their defense wears on the opposing team because early in the match, St. Mary's was hitting in the 200s.
Right,
you know, Diggs 52-34, big advantage there defensively. 6 blocks for Lady Buffs, 4 for St. Mary's. The attack errors, those started to add up a little bit as the match went on as well. 25 for the Rattlers, just 11 for the Lady Buffs. And then, Bryce, I'll let you talk a little bit about the balance that we saw from the Lady Buffs.
And that's the thing. I mean, Kendra was able to get a lot of players in, and their percentage is so high when you look across the way compared to St. Mary's, and that just shows, I think, the confidence she has of bringing anybody in at any time and not worrying about drop-off or letdown of any sort.
Tori Miller leads the way with 12 kills, hitting .478. She also had 6 digs and 2 blocks. Tatum Stowe, phenomenal. Her best, she only played 3 matches, but
best one so far.
It is, and it just keeps getting better.
And it kind of makes you wonder what's coming down the road.
Man,
again. 11 kills, yeah.
11 kills, 16 attacks, 688, 4 blocks as well. And then you get Emma Becker in. She's a freshman, 7 kills. Cami Jones, 7 kills. Ashlyn Vineyard and Kayla Elliott, 6 kills each. The setters both did a great job. Blair Moreland with 23 assists. Ainsley Malice with 19. And then in the digs department, there's Emma Patterson leading the way with 17. Great defensive effort all the way around.
And again, when other teams look at tape, they're going to be hard-pressed to find out where's the weak area that we can exploit.
In the loss for St. Mary's, they did a great job. Lorraine Robinson, 9 kills. Lindsay Ogle, 9 kills. Landry Withers with 7 digs. Leader was Alyssa Kale, just a freshman. She had 9 digs. Ogle also had 7. And for St. Mary's again and Coach Ulrich, a lot to look from this match and build on. Their next match, they will take on Adams State. And so they've played 3 and they've dropped 3, but you get that feel that they may be able to pull one off.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So that wraps up this second match of the day. Thanks so much for watching the Lady Buffs and the Rattlers here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. Again, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Thunder Vision production team will get you ready for the 2 o'clock match between Northwest Missouri State